Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Shripad Paramahamsa Parivasitācharya Srimad Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada Ki Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10, Text number 30. Nididhyasoratmamayam Nididhyasoratmamayam Hridayam nirbhidyata Hridayam nirabhidyata Tato manaschandra iti Tato manaschandra iti Sankalpah kama eva cha Sankalpah kama eva cha Nididhyasoratmamayam Hridayam nirabhidyata Tato manaschandra iti Sankalpah kama eva cha Nididhyasoratmamayam Hridayam nirabhidyata Tato manaschandra iti Sankalpah kama eva cha Nididhyasoratmamayam iti Sankalpah kama eva cha Nididhyasoratmamayam Hridayam nirabhidyata Nididhyasoratmamayam nirabhidyata Tato manaschandra iti Sankalpah kama eva cha Nididhyasoratmamayam Hridayam nirabhidyata Tato manaschandra iti Sankalpah kama eva cha Nididhyasoratmamayam Hridayam nirabhidyata Tato manaschandra iti Sankalpah kama eva cha Nididhyasoratmamayam Hridayam nirabhidyata iti Sankalpah kama eva cha Nididhyaso being desirous to know Atmamayam own energy Hridayam the location of the mind Nirabhidyata was manifested Tataha thereafter Iti thus Sankalpaha determination Kamaha desire Eva as much as Cha also Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Sam Srila Prabhupada Ki Translation When there was a desire to think about the activities of his own energy, then the heart the seat of the mind, the moon, determination, and all desire became manifested. Kindly repeat. When there was a desire to think about the activities of his own energy, then the heart, the seat of the mind, the moon, determination, and all desire became manifested. But the heart of every living entity is the seat of the super soul, Paramatma, a plenary portion, expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Without his presence, the living entity cannot get into the working energy according to his past deeds. The living entities who are conditioned in the material world are manifested in the creation in terms of respective inclination inherent in them, and the requisite material body is offered to each and every one of them by the material energy under the direction of the Supersoul. This is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. When therefore Supersoul is situated in the heart of the conditioned soul, the requisite mind is manifested in the conditioned soul and he becomes conscious of his occupation as one is conscious of his duty upon waking up from slumber. Therefore, the material mind of the living entity develops when the supersoul sits on his heart, after which the mind, the controlling deity moon, and then the activities of the mind, namely thinking, feeling, and willing, all take place. The activities of the mind cannot begin without the manifestation of the heart, and the heart becomes manifested when the Lord wants to see the activities of the material creation. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravadi Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So the super soul is sitting in the heart of every living entity, and it is he who initiates the activities or inspires the living entity to perform uh, various actions based on his past deeds. Bhagavad Gita Krishna also says, Matta Smritir Gnanam Apohanam Cha. So, the Lord seated within the heart, he constantly keeps giving the living entities, every jiva, the energy for action. The conditioned soul is possessing a Jada Sharira. That Jada Sharira has no capacity of Jnanam, Smriti, it has no inert ability. So that ability of his remembrance is actually provided by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his plenary portion as Paramatma. Like Prabhupada is giving the example, just like when we wake up early morning from sleep, the moment we wake up, we are actually able to remember what I have to do. We know that now I have to go to take bath, brush my teeth, wear my clothes, go to office. So these are all continuously that remembrance, the activities what has to be done is actually inspired by the Supreme Lord. A very important aspect we need to contemplate and understand the greatness of the Lord here. Now, suppose the Supreme Lord's interference is not there. So, when we wake up, we don't know what to do. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we are. There is actually one movie wherein the hero of the movie he forgets the next day who he is, what he has to do, all that he forgets. Some memory loss, some disease is there. So he does all his activities in the daytime. When he goes to sleep, next day morning when he wakes up, he forgotten everything. So what he has done or what his parents have done, they have written everything. When he wakes up on the fan, it is written direction like that. Then he goes to that direction and the bathroom door opens. Inside the bathroom, it will be written, take toothbrush. Then after that, shave your beard, do your shaving, that instruction for shaving. Then take your bath. So like that, all that is continuous, the directions are given. Just like that person who has lost his memory, these directions are so important. Actually, all of us are also in the similar position. We also don't know. But the moment we wake up, already the Lord has put up all the signs inside us, sitting as Paramatma in our heart. He provides what we have to do. Suppose suddenly one special task is there that we have to do and we have assigned it for the next day. Immediately when you wake up, mind alerts, oh, this I have to do. So those inspiration, that energy for that action is provided by the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Paramatma. So, this is actually day to day. Even in the beginning of our birth, the moment the living entity is born in a particular species, what he has to do in that particular species, suppose we are born in a dog family, in a dog species. And I have never barked in my previous life to know that now I have to bark. Now I have to go to my mother dog for milk. Now I have to be behind my mother dog. Whatever she does, I have to follow her for next few days. No, we don't know anything. But immediately the spirit soul is inspired by the Paramatma in the heart of the dog who is born. That now he is in the dog's body and now he has to do this. So that inspiration, that remembrance, the activities, energy that Supreme Lord is providing, sitting in the heart as Paramatma. So, so when the living entity is born, based on the previous inclination, many past karma he has done out of some inclination, he has developed certain inclination in this life. A certain body is provided to him to fulfill those inclinations. And then the Lord reminds him, now is the opportunity. Now you can bark. You wanted to now bark. Now you can bark. Of course, no one dies thinking I have to bark next life. But that qualities they want to develop. So that quality is developed in them. That's why Prabhupada is mentioning 9.10 verse Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena konteya jagat viparivartate. So, Mayadhyakshena, Adhyaksha, under the supervision of the Supreme Lord, Suyate, manifestation is happening. Of whom? Characharam, all the living beings and non-living beings. Those are moving, not moving. Hetunanena kaunteya. That reason, this is the reason, again and again, Jagat Viparivartate. Again and again creation is happening and annihilation is happening. So, similar concept Srila Prabhupada here already he mentions in Bhagavad Gita, all the living entities, although born under the glance of the Supreme Lord, still take their different bodies according to their past deeds and desires. So the Lord is not directly attached to the material creation. He simply glances over material nature. Material nature is thus activated and everything is created immediately. Because he glances over material nature, there is undoubtedly activity on the part of the Supreme Lord. So the father gives seed to the womb of the mother for the child, and similarly the Supreme Lord by his mere glance injects the living entities into the womb of the material nature. And they come out in their different forms and species according to their last desire and activities. Yam yam va pismaran bhavam tejatyante kaleva. That same bhava, according to their last desires and their activities, they are given some inclination he has developed, he gets it. Now, this is further elaborated in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is describing about actually what happens during taking birth, another birth, what is happening. So this is a shloka of Krishna is saying, Mamayevamsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manashashthanindriyani prakritisthani karshati. So the word karshati Krishna is using, that he is continuously undergoing struggle for existence through his mind and five senses. So that is this shloka. Further, Krishna describes what is this karshati, what is happening, what is this karshati, what is that fighting continuously in the material nature, that fighting is happening. That karshati, shariram yad avapnoti, yad chapi utkramatishvaraha, उत्क्रामतीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धम् इवाशयात्. The living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aroma. Air is a vehicle to carry aroma. So like that, different conceptions of life from one body to another, the mind is carrying. So in the purport, Prabhupada writes, the living entity in the material world carries his different conceptions of life. Here the living entity is described as Ishvara. Actually Krishna is calling living entities as Ishvara here. Shariram yad avapnoti yad chapi utkrama ati Ishvara. Utkramati Ishvara. The Lord of the body, Prabhupada is calling. Why he is calling Ishvara? Because It is in the control of the living entity to decide which body he wants to go. If the living entity is in the mode of goodness, he can get a body and God mode of goodness. If the living entity is in the mode of ignorance, he gets the body in mode of ignorance. So it is the living entity who decides, or whose action decides. So therefore, the living entity is called the controller of his own body, Ishvara. If he likes, he can change his body. If he likes, okay, I want to become like a king, he can change his body by his actions. So at the time of death, the change in his body undergoes, that body undergoes depends upon him. Minute independence is there. So at the time of death, the consciousness he has created will carry him to the next type of body. If he has his consciousness like that of a cat or a dog, it is sure he'll change to cat's or dog's body. And if his consciousness is fixed on godly qualities, it will go into the form of demigods. And if he is in Krishna consciousness, he is transferred to Krishna Loka. It is stated here that the subtle body which carries the conception of the next body develops another body in the next life. This process of transmigration from one body to another and struggling while in the body is called karshati, or struggle for existence. So Krishna is mentioning struggling with the mind and the five senses. So this is the throughout the life, the difficulties that the living entity Jiva is going through, and the process of birth and death. That is Karshati. Then in the 9th shloka, Krishna is saying, Shrotram chakshu sparshanam cha rasanam granam evacha adhishtaya manaschayam vishayan upasevate. Shrotram, chakshu, sparsham, rasanam, these are all the different senses. Hearing, Shrotram, chakshuhu, eyes, sparsham, touch, rasanam, taste, tongue, granam, the smell. So like this, all these senses are developed in the body based on the inclination that he has developed. See, you see a dog, he has got 4 legs. Shinitaya Goranga Shishi Radha Madar Mohan ki jai. A dog has got 4 bodies, 4 legs. His nose is a particular type of a nose. His eyes has a different variety. A human being has 2 legs, 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, but a different quality in the makeup of this same senses. You take a cockroach, he's got some 10 legs. His nose is a different variety. So, sometimes people ask this question, that if I was a spirit soul, I have the cockroach body, then how I can become a human being? I have got 10 legs in my cockroach body. No, he didn't have 10 legs. The cockroach body had 10 legs. Then why he got cockroach body? Because it is mentioned here, because of the inclinations that he had. To fulfill those inclinations, applicable senses are given to him. Those that senses are applicable to fulfill those. So that kind of a body. So that's what Krishna is mentioning here. The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, tongue, and nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects. Like a pig, Prabhupada says, pig can only eat stool and enjoy. So he has got a different taste, different tongue. This is not the same tongue that we got. Generally scientists know, they think a tongue is same everywhere. So they do experiment on animals, and the same experiment that they did on animals, they apply in human being. This medicine will work for human being. But their senses are separate, our senses are separate, grouped separately. So hence, Prabhupada further in this purport he says, in other words, if the living entity adulterates his consciousness with the qualities of cats and dog, in his next life he gets a cat or dog body and enjoys. So he's got the quality, he lives like a dog in his life. So he's given a dog body and the senses that applicable to the dog body. Consciousness is originally pure like water, but if you mix water with certain color, water is pure, you put blue color, water becomes blue. You put red color, water becomes red. So similarly, original consciousness is pure, spirit soul consciousness is pure. But if the soul is contaminated with sattva guna is developed in. If he is contaminated with rajoguna, if he associates with rajoguna consciousness is developed. So, but what is real consciousness? What is real pure consciousness? Prabhupada says, real consciousness is Krishna consciousness. When therefore one is situated in Krishna consciousness, he is in his pure life. But if his consciousness is adulterated by some type of material mentality, in the next life, he gets a corresponding body. He does not necessarily get a human body again. He can get the body of a cat, dog, hog, demigod, or one of many other forms. For there are 8,400,000 species. So generally people outside they talk, 7 births human being. There is no such guarantee, 7 birth human being and all. Okay. So according to the activities, consciousness that he has developed in this life, that consciousness is carried to the next body through the mind, agency of mind, and in the next body, grouped around the mind, the senses are created. Mind is a storehouse of all the desires. One place Prabhupada says, mind is like a camera. The camera is capturing images and record is kept. So like that, mind is capturing experiences, desires, and capturing. And that is getting carried from one body to another. And to fulfill certain desires, grouped around that mind, the senses are generated. So for a dog mentality, certain senses are required. For a hog mentality, certain senses are required. So those senses are provided. It's just like, suppose there is a car. A car can run at a speed of 200 kilometers per hour. There will be another car 100 only capacity. So that car has got a separate facility. This car has got a separate facility. So based on the purchase capability of a person, he can purchase either a fast moving car or a slow moving car, or even if that also not there, then he has to go on a cycle also. Either, that all depends on his capacity. So next Krishna further he says, Utkramantam stitam vapi bunjanam va gunanvitam vimuda nanu pashyanti gnana chakshusha. Vimuda, foolish people, nanu pashyanti, they will not see all that. You try to explain to unintelligent people about transmigration of body from one life to another, they'll say all this is mythology, superstition. But pashyanti gnana chakshusha, one who has got knowledge, he sees through the eyes of knowledge, through the spects of knowledge, jnana chakshusha. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand the sort of body he enjoys under the spell of modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. So it's a very important verse. Prabhupada mentions how we can see this in truth. Many people are unable to see. Some are able to see. Some are believing, some are not at all believing. So what is the difference that is making in? So Prabhupada says, the word Jnana Chakshusha is very significant. Without knowledge, one cannot understand how a living entity leaves his present body nor what form of body he is going to take in the next life, nor even why he is living in the particular type of body. That requires a great amount of knowledge understood from Bhagavad Gita and similar literatures heard from a bona fide spiritual master. So, until one hears from a bona fide spiritual master through the revealed scriptures, it is not possible for him to gain that knowledge. One who is trained to perceive all these things are fortunate. So, the spiritual master, he trains his disciples to see these things. Jnana Chakshusha. Every living entity is quitting his body under certain circumstances. He is living under certain circumstances and he is enjoying under certain circumstances. Under the spell of material nature, as a result, he is suffering different kinds of happiness and distress under the illusion of sense enjoyment. So, different circumstances, different bodies have been created. Persons who are everlastingly fooled by lust and desire. So, those who are attacked by lust and desire, Prabhupada says, they lose all power to understand their change of body and their stay in particular body. This is the cause. What is this cause? Lust and desire. Krishna also mentions in Bhagavad Gita, Kama Esha, Krodha Esha, Rajoguna, Samudbhava. Then finally in the third chapter again, final, he says that three gateway to hell, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, desires, over unsatiated desires, Lobha, and unfulfilled desires becomes Krodha. So, lust and desire. This leads to, Prabhupada says, loses all power to understand the change of the body. That spiritual inclination is killed by one who is having desire and lust. They cannot comprehend it. So the difference between one who is able to realize, one who is able to appreciate, oh yeah, there is life after death. The moment you tell someone, yeah, there is life after death, they were able to understand. And some, I don't believe it. Is this, that one is captivated by lust and desire, and another not captivated by lust and desire, whereas he has been trained by the spiritual master with this knowledge. So, those who have developed spiritual knowledge, however, can see that the spirit soul is different from the body. I am not this body, spirit soul, and is changing its body and enjoying in different ways. A person in such knowledge can understand how the conditioned living entity is suffering in the material existence. So, living entity who is able to understand, come to this point of knowledge, is able to understand, okay, I am not this body, spirit, soul, there is transmigration of birth and death, of body, one body to another, and this life is a miserable life. Like many people, if you go and tell, Janma Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkhano, Dukkha, what is your saying? It's so wonderful life. Shukadeva Goswami also says, Pashyan apena pashyati. So every moment is a danger, but still they are thinking, no, it's very nice. Recently, someone made a quotation, no? You go in aeroplane, there is a death is there. You go for a honeymoon, there is a problem. There is death is there. You go for swimming, there is a death is there. But people still think, no, I am little, I'll take care of myself. I'm very special. My capability is there. Because they're captivated by lust and desire. They are unable to see. Therefore, those who are highly developed Krishna conscious try their best to give the knowledge to the people in general, for their conditioned life is very much troublesome. They should come out of it and be Krishna conscious and liberate themselves to transfer to the spiritual world. So then, Krishna further in the next shloka, Krishna says, the endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self-realization can see all this clearly, but those whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self-realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try to. Even if they try to see, some scientist, he want to research whether there is life after death, whether there is spirit soul, he will not be able to see still. There are many transcendentalists on the path of spiritual realization, but one who is not situated in self realization cannot see how things are changing in the body of the living entity. So one is a scientist cannot see. A materialistic process he cannot see. But even a transcendental, people on the path of transcendental realization, they also cannot see. That Prabhupada explains next. The word yoginaha is significant in this connection. In the present day, there are many so-called yogis, and there are many so-called associations of yogis. Yogi and yogi associations are there, but they're actually blind in the matter of self-realization. Actually, this is so much fact, correct? So many yoga studios, international yoga day, and all that being done without any knowledge or value for I am not this body, spirit, soul, which is a basic of yoga. In the present day, they simply addicted to some sort of gymnastic exercise and are satisfied if the body is well built and healthy. They have no information. It's, so many big organizations are there, associations. I cannot take name, but it is there, very popular. And what are they teaching? They're coming onto YouTube, social media, and teaching how to breathe, how to do this, how to do that, increase their height, improve their concentration, improve their sleep, all connected to body. They are called yatanto api akrat akritatmanaha. Even though they are endeavoring in so-called yoga system, they are not self-realized. Such people cannot understand the process of transmigration of soul. Only those who are actually in the yoga sthiti, yoga system, and have realized the self, the world, and the supreme Lord. In other words, the bhakti yogis, those engaged in pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness, can understand how things are taking place. Only a devotees can understand, who has been guided by a bona fide spiritual master, trained, cultivated, how he has to see this world. Actually, one day, one devotee, he was traveling with Prabhupada, and the devotee was sitting on the window, and he was looking down. The plane is going at a height after taking a flight, and then he's looking down. What is all? So Prabhupada says, "What are you looking at?" Then he says, "So many buildings and beautiful city." So then Prabhupada, he tells him, "See all this from down. These buildings appear so big. From down, no? When we are on the land, big buildings, skyscraper. But when we go on top, they are appear like matchbox, chutku things." Then Prabhupada says, imagine from Krishna's angle. From Krishna's angle, what is all these buildings? We are all thinking, big building I built, I did this, I achieved that. Immediately his perception, no? Every time he is on the flight, he looks down, he remembers this quote from Prabhupada. What vision Prabhupada is looking at, and what vision people are, where is my house? He's looking at. Prabhupada gives the example, eagle is flying at a height and looking for cars. So like that, human being is going on the top, so much money he spent and he's thinking, I have become a big man, but he's looking from here. Where is my house? Where is my. Recently, also, an astronaut went to space, and from there, they are asking, how is India? Fortunately, he says there is nothing like India separately. So, like this, we are seeing how things are being misled. So, Prabhupada is mentioning only when one comes in the association of pure devotee, gains knowledge through him, Chakshudan Dilojai, Janme Janme, we are able to understand the truth. I am not this body, spirit, soul, there is transmigration. Otherwise, as Krishna is saying, it is impossible. Even Yoginaha, Akratatmanaha, they are also unable to understand. And we are seeing practically everywhere, same thing is going on. Some exercise they teach and they say this is yoga. Some people also say yoga is not only exercise. It is balancing between mind and exercise. That's all. Finally, it comes boils down to health, mental and physical health. That's all. They never connect it to Krishna. They never connect it to God. Even if they try to connect, it becomes an impersonal God, impersonal Brahman. That's all. Now, how to gain that jnana? That is explained by Krishna in 13th chapter. Jnanam Gneyam. Arjuna is asking 6 questions. What are the 6 questions? Kshetra, Kshetragna, Jnanam, Gneyam, Prakriti, Purusha. So, in explaining about Jnanam, that's what Jnana Chakshusha. Krishna is enlisting 20 items of knowledge. The very first item is, what is the first item of knowledge? First item of knowledge, 13th chapter. What is the shloka? Amanitvam, Adambitvam. Amanitvam means humility. The first symptom, first item, one who is showing humility. He is in knowledge. So, like that, Krishna lists out 20 items. And Prabhupada says, 2 are very, very important among these. One is Acharya Pasanam, taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. For acceptance of the spiritual master, that is essential, because without the instruction of bona fide spiritual master, one cannot progress in spiritual science. One should approach the bona fide spiritual master with all humility and offer him all services so that he will be pleased to bestow his blessings upon him. Because a bona fide spiritual master is a representative of Krishna, he bestows any blessings upon his disciples that will make the disciple immediately advanced without the disciples following the regulative principles. Or the regulative principles will be easier for one who has served the spiritual master without reservation. So there are a lot of rules and regulations in bhakti. All of that becomes very easy to follow for one who is serving the spiritual master. Actually, it is so important, Acharya Upasana. And those who are following those gurus, that itself is broken here. How they can gain proper spiritual knowledge if the spiritual master himself is not bona fide? One of the elements in gaining spiritual knowledge is surrender to a bona fide spiritual master. Serve him with all humility and without any reservation. Then, the second very important point is that exclusive devotion to Lord Krishna. And Prabhupada, he elaborates on this. Devotional service Devotional service to Krishna without deviation means engaging oneself in the 9 processes of devotion service: chanting, hearing, worshipping, offering, respect, etc., as described in the verse, in the last verse of 9th chapter. That process should be followed. Manmana avamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. That process has to be followed. That is exclusive devotion. So if these two things, these are the two most important, then there are other items. If we are able to follow, Krishna says these are the items of knowledge. Then Jnana Chakshusha will be able to see the world as Krishna is describing. Otherwise, the world will be different from what Krishna is describing. In fact, in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita itself, Prabhupada is mentioning how to come to the point of self-realization. Anyone knows where Prabhupada says? In the purport somewhere Prabhupada says. What is 2nd chapter? It's all about spirit soul. I am not the body, spirit soul. Qualities of the spirit soul. So very first shloka, purport to that. Because Prabhupada is mentioning what is going to happen next. What are the next? So in that, at the end of the purport, Prabhupada says, this chapter instructs us in self-realization by an analytical study of the material body and the spirit soul as explained by the supreme authority. The self-realization, analysis between material body and the spirit soul. Lord Krishna himself is telling, this realization is possible when one works without attachment to fruitive results. How it is possible, this realization? Karma Yoga. When one works, Buddhi Yoga. Further, after describing analytical knowledge, Krishna is going to describe Buddhi Yoga. Eshate Bihita Sanke. Krishna is Buddhi Yogam Tumam Shranu. Buddhav Sharanam Anvicha. Krishna is mentioning. So that Buddhi Yoga Krishna is mentioning here. Prabhupada is mentioning. Attachment to fruitive results and is situated in the fixed conception of real self. That is absolute truth. So we see so many links are there. 13th chapter, 15th chapter, 2nd chapter about gaining transcendental knowledge, Jnana Chakshusha, the spiritual transcendental knowledge. So, of course, for our level, when we practice the sadhana bhakti that the Guru has given, Guru has enjoined, sometimes what happens, even in devotion also, after some years, because every day we are doing same thing, it becomes little routine. And the seriousness of what we are doing becomes slackened. But this should be in our head. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanu darshana. Prabhupada says in one place, the fear of impending death is an impetus for spiritual life. So there is a fear. That fear creates, oh no, I have to become Krishna conscious. So that jnana, it dissolves slowly. And the cause Prabhupada is saying, because of desire and lust. He loses. He may gain for some time and again he may lose. Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya prahta chetasa. So therefore, these things have to be kept at its top level. Our seriousness for sadhana, whether it is morning sadhana or whether it is after morning sadhana, services that we are doing, the vigor and vitality with which we do, the feeling of gratefulness to Guru and following his order, seriously following. Prabhupada is saying, following Guru's order without any reservation. So many things are there in our head because of our past knowledge. I know many things. this is not going to happen, or this will happen, this is very easy, without any reservation. So these things and all develops when as Prabhupada is mentioning, when we work without any expectation for the fruitive results. We do as a matter of duty because Guru is saying I have to do it. That's it. I have to offer this result to the Lord, to Krishna, not for me, to my Guru, not for me, not for my pleasure. The moment a devotee comes to this consciousness, I do it for the Lord's pleasure, I do it for Guru's pleasure, immediately he comes to a transcendental platform. Then moment again he does for his pleasure. That is his desires and lust. His pleasure means desire and lust. If he is doing same thing for Krishna, it is love. So when he does that for Krishna, immediately he raises his work to a transcendental work, platform to transcendental work. The same work he is doing for his own senses, it becomes material work. So we have to elevate our consciousness to a level wherein we are always uh, remaining in those jnana chakshusha, looking those things at a right position. Recently, there was one lady, very expert in digital technology, very expert. So she was working in project with another colleague, many colleagues. One of them is a man. She got attracted to him. She proposed and he rejected. Then he got married to someone else. So what she did out of her vengeance, she created some hoax uh, bomb threat in different areas in India, and all those threat was channeled through his mail, his phone number, his email ID, his WhatsApp. She is sitting somewhere in a part of country, or and then she is doing, and that man, no, he is unable to figure out. Police are behind him. Why are you sending such hoax threats and all from your mobile? It is coming from your email ID. He is terrified. Finally, somehow they figure out that this lady is doing, and the reason is this. So we see how this love, she is thinking, I'll, even materialistic people, they are saying, Are, how can you make your lover suffer like this? But that is the nature of love in the material world. It is not pure love. Pure love is what? Where we are seeing love between Krishna and Radharani, Krishna and Gopis. Krishna left Vrindavan, went to Mathura, promised that I'll come. He never came. They did not take vengeance against Krishna like this. They were continuously remembering him and they passed their life like that. They never even cursed Krishna. Correct? When the opportunity came to see Krishna in Kurukshetra, everyone are running. This is pure love. So how clearly we can see Jnana Chakshusha. A devotee will be able to see, oh, what is this lust? Simply revenge. This is real. It's not real love. It's not for the benefit of the lover. There's another was there. One woman takes husband to honeymoon, kills him, stages a drama, something. See? So like this, Jnana Chakshusha, we will be able to see the world through the vision of pure knowledge. Provided we engage in cultivation of this knowledge through engaging in work in fruitive, without fruitive result, through the instructions of bona fide spiritual master. Any questions?
based on that, we will be getting the lower form. Now the jiva gets sensual side, which you can find in the center. The senses are there. Now, if we take the case of hog, it is not being taken as a punishment, rather it is enjoying even the hog is life also. Whatever stool it is eating, we are seeing it as a punishment, but the hog is enjoying the food as well. Now, should we consider the lower form as a punishment for the jiva, or it is just a body which is given to enjoy as per the HKM?
See, this is all at what angle we are looking at. Now, suppose a teacher in the classroom, she punishes that a mischievous student. There are some mischievous students who are enjoying the punishment also. They desire to get punished and they are enjoying also. From the angle of the teacher, it is a punishment. From the angle of good students, it is a punishment. From the angle of mischievous students, they'll all appreciate, oh yeah, you also became like us. So it is like that. From what angle you are looking at it. From Lord's angle, it is a punishment. He is demoted from higher form to lower form. From a human being, you became a dog or a pig. It is a demotion. But the living entity wanted that. He wanted that. Of course, he didn't want directly. So no human being will say, I want to become pig. The desires that he has developed, the qualities that he is acting, the situations are different. He wanted to behave like a pig in human body. So Lord removed his human body, gave only pig desire. So this separation is done. So this is not possible to do like that. It is not correct. You do this there. Understood, no? So it is a punishment. But also Lord is fulfilling his desire. He wanted to do like that. He wanted to enjoy. Okay, chalo, enjoy for some time, some years, you enjoy like that. Lord is also, so Prabhupada someplace he says, Krishna is very merciful. He is fulfilling all our desires. Even you want to become a hog, Lord is allowing you to become. That is the mercy of the Lord also. Understood, no? So the Lord's mercy is there in allowing us to glide down also, and also it is a punishment. He undergoes certain experience in that body, and again when he comes back to human life, he will realize, that pig life was very horrible. In this life, let me be careful and go back to God. So Lord gives that opportunity to grow again from there. That is his mercy.
He is not having the opportunity to become the spiritual.
Yeah, he is demoted. Even in the range of elevation of evolution of species, he is demoted. He is down. Now he is down. Rather than a human life, he is down. He should have gone above human life. That is a punishment, demotion. The living entity may enjoy. Some mischievous kids, they may enjoy. Or he may suffer also. If he is little better conscious person, okay, I made a wrong choice. But finally, he gets another opportunity to elevate by the Lord. And Lord also mercifully, he provides, okay, you want to become a hog, okay, chalo, go and come one lifetime, go and come. So Lord has got unlimited ways of showing his mercy. So this also is one way, showing his mercy. Fulfilling the material desires. He wants to fall down, okay, fall down and come. Because the desire, soul is having so much intense desire. I want to live like a hog. The Lord has provided him opportunity through Guru, through Sadhu, through Shastra. In his current human life, still he chose to become a animal. Right? So then he is given that opportunity. It is a punishment. Like Prabhupada says, tree life is a punishment. So, like similarly, animal life also punishment. The degree of punishments are different. That's all. Prabhupada gives one example. When a teacher student does a mischief, teacher used to say, stand up on the bench. And some students, when they stand on the bench, they are thinking, see, I am above everyone. But actually, it is a punishment. So, through the angle of the soul, if he is taking as enjoyment, it becomes his enjoyment. But actually, from the angle of the Lord, it is a punishment. Though it is his mercy, but still it is a punishment. Okay? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्रील प्रभुपाद की